In this tutorial, we're going to pick up where we left last tutorial. We're going to play with backgrounds a little bit more. So here are two files. So I'm going to download them off OneNote. So to do that, I right click and I hit Save As. I select the location where I want to save them and I hit Save. And I repeat for the other image. Now I go to IPTO. And then I grab my two files and I drag them and drop them over together. And that will upload both of my images. Now I will create my new file. I'm going to save this as tutorial 5b.html. Now, as I am picking up from a previous tutorial, I'm not going to retype the code. If you're looking for the code, it is here under code for tutorial 5. You simply select that file, that page, select all the text, Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste, and then you hit save. And this will load exactly how we had the previous file. So now let's play with our background. Here we have just used plain background color. Now we're going to use an image. So I'm going to delete that line and I'm going to type in background image. Now to put a background image in, you don't just type the file name. You need to type in URL, brackets, and inside you put some quotation marks and you type the name of a file. So to start with, I'm just going to use owl.png. And I will save that file and then I will reload. So by default, what happens when you put a background image in? It draws the image once and then it repeats it horizontally and vertically. Now that may suit you if you have an image that tiles nicely and that's the look that you're after. What if you want something a little bit different? What if you have one image and you don't want it to repeat? As you go back here and we add another property. Background repeat. And we say no repeat. And now we reload and it only shows our image once. Now this image only shows once, but what if we wanted this image to actually cover the entire background? Well, we would add a different parameter. Background size cover. And now I will reload again. And it has stretched the owl image to fill the entire background of the screen. However, what if we wanted different options? So we're just going to go through different options and then you can just play with them and choose stuff that you like. If I get rid of that and I reload, it is over here on the left. What if I wanted it in the center of the screen? I would go background, position, center, and save. And if I reload, it is now centered horizontally on the screen. And it is centered in the middle of the content. So let me demonstrate that a little bit more. Down here I'm just going to take this text, and I'm just going to copy it lots of times. And now when I reload, it has all that extra text, and you'll note that my owl, the middle of my owl, lines up with the middle element of my text. If I continue to do that, and I reload, now we cannot see our owl. However, we have lots of lines of paragraph and we can see we have a scroll bar. If we move the scroll bar approximately halfway down, So halfway through our content, there is our owl. It is centered in the middle of our page. Now what if we didn't really like that? What if we kind of wanted the owl to stay in the middle of the background and not move as we scroll through the items? Well, then we would just add background, attachment, fixed. Now when I reload, as I scroll up and down through the content, my background image remains in place for the entire document. So those are some of the options that you can play with. Now what does that look like if I use a different image? Now the other image I had was parchment.jpg, so I'll put that in. And I will save that, and I will reload. Now the parchment has covered the entire background, and it does not move, so that looks okay. Now what if I wanted to do something really tricky? What if I wanted to put my owl on top of the parchment? So we're getting quite fancy now, and I would not expect you to go this far unless you really want to. We can actually layer images in our background. URL, comma, quotation marks, and it is owl.png. Save. And now I will refresh. And now my owl has rendered on top of my parchment. So I've layered my background. Now I can also add a background color to this. So if I get rid of this, and I just add my owl on white, what happens if I add a background color? Maybe a blue. Now my owl is sitting on top of a blue background. So you can have a lot of fun with backgrounds. You can really personalize it.